Howdy, howdy. We're going into the pre-show for the free show.
What it do, party people?
What it do, what it do.
That's Mallory Hartley in for a vacant Ashley Pickle. She's down at basketball.
Basketball, gimme the ball, because I'm going to dunk it. You're supposed to say the line.
She's fired up. She's got March Madness. She's got an acute...
Madness.
She's got an acute case of March Madness.
I sure do.
Big game for your Sparties tonight. They're playing Iowa and can really take command of first place of the Big Ten.
Yeah, so Maryland beat Michigan last night, which gave us a shared Big Ten title as of right now. All we have to do is beat Iowa tonight, and then we become, I think we get sole first place in the Big Ten. So,
okay.
Big game. That's what I'll be doing tonight.
That's good. What is... I don't know if I really have a pre-show topic for you, but I wanted to see how you're doing. How's life? This is good.
Yeah, I'm just ready for March Madness. I'm very excited.
So we are coming. So you played golf recently with Ashley Pickle. Ashley Pickle.
Yeah, played is a strong word.
Okay, you played. You were.
I was present.
Okay. So I have a question, and this was something we talked about I think a year ago.
Okay.
Because I found it on Instagram, but it popped up again on the algo last night.
The algo.
The algo. Okay.
Okay.
Could you win the Masters if you started on the green?
No. Absolutely not. I'm terrible.
I'm just saying, like, you start on the green.
No, I couldn't win anything that has anything to do with golf, ever.
Like, you would be... I don't think you could either, to be clear. But I think that like, I've thought about this a lot. Because, obviously, you probably don't have to worry about hitting into the water. That's nice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's going to stand by. You've just got to aim to, like, three-putt. Like, if you three-putt every hole, 18 times 3... I mean, you're shooting a 54. That's going to win you the tournament.
Yeah.
If you three-putt that, everything. But
I'm not awful on the green. I'm really good with my pitching wedge.
Yeah.
That is about the only club that I'm really good with. And you can ask Pickle on that because she was impressed with how.
So yeah, where are you best in golf? Is it like
on the green? Definitely on the green.
Okay.
Probably.
Is that
and I'm not saying that I'm good by any means, but I'm just saying that I am less worse at that than any other area of golf.
Is that how? Okay. So that you're the least bad at that.
Yes.
I've always thought, like, for me, I haven't played golf in a hot minute.
Do you like playing golf?
It's fine. Like, I don't seek it out, but like, if people are like, hey, let's go.
Opportunity presents itself.
Like, for example, I'm going to a bachelor party in June for my buddy, right, in Toronto. And they want to...
That's sick.
Yeah, so he and his fiance live in Boston, and so it kind of makes sense. It's like so we're gonna go to Toronto, go to a Blue Jays game, but they want to go golfing, and like I'll go golfing with them, right?
Yeah.
But like, if I would like, I'm not going to go out there and seek out golf because I think it just doesn't seem fun to me. Like I used to golf fairly frequently with my dad and like my brothers, but like then I realized I don't really like this.
Yeah.
And I'd rather spend my time not doing this, so I don't.
So I think the reason that I get invited to play golf with my friends is because I'm more of the, hey, she brings the vibes.
Oh, you're the vibes?
Yeah, so I bring my speaker.
Okay.
I play some house music.
House music?
Yeah. And drink
I did
some
not
beer.
have you pegged for a house music person. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm on like a big... I think the reason I'm on a big kick is because that's my entire snowboarding playlist, and I just got back from...
Oh, here we go.
Snowboarding in Colorado. So that's all I listen to. Now I'm on a kick.
Speaking of things that I probably won't do ever again.
Snowboarding?
Skiing.
No, yeah, skiing.
Why?
Does it hurt your knees?
Okay.
Grandpa?
Yes. It is. It combines a number of things that I don't like. Okay?
Yeah.
1, it's cold. Okay?
Correct.
2, it's a lot of work.
Oh, it sure is.
It's a
Yes.
lot of work.
No, you're right about that.
It's not relaxing. And 3, it's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
That is a trio. That is a 3 meat plate that I have no interest in.
No, and here's the thing, too. We don't live anywhere near a ski hill. The closest one is in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and it's Ski Apache, which is not that great anyways.
Oh, here we go.
But but it's still a 9 to 10 hour drive.
Right. And
you
so,
know?
like, you are either driving a long way or you're flying. You're going to
Yeah.
need a hotel.
Right.
Like, the lift passes, the rentals, the stuff like that. It's just all, no, I'm just out. And I think,
Yeah.
let me tell you the joy
fair.
of getting old, okay? The joy of getting old is that you just realize that, like, all right, if I'm not interested in doing that, like, I'm just not going to,
Yeah.
like, especially leisure activities. Like,
That's
golf,
fair.
golf is fine if you've got the right number of guys or your bros or, you know, the right group.
What about pickleball? Like
I've
pickleball?
played it one time.
Oh, so the company
Correct.
party was
Correct.
the only time
But
that you've ever played?
Let me tell you who really wants to play pickleball.
Jen?
My wife.
My
She
wife.
really wants to. And so we're going on vacation here in a couple weeks. We're
right.
going to Mexico. And they have a pickleball court. And she's like, this is when we do it. Like,
This
we're going
is
to go
where
play.
we're gonna
We're going to go play. I want to go learn how to play pickleball. She thinks it looks really fun.
They have a lot of cute pickleball accessories at Target. That's what I got Shlee for her birthday one year. Was she got some paddles? I think from Jake. I think Jake
Yeah.
got her for her. But I got her some like covers.
I'm not-
and then a little matching water bottle. Like,
See, I'm not out on
everything.
pickleball. I think pickleball seems okay. I think we have probably overrated it a little bit. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think we're a little over pickleballed right now.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
like that is gonna crash pretty hard. I think like that bubble's gonna burst.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it once I kind of figured out what the rules were. So I wouldn't mind.
There's a
doing it
lot of
again.
rules.
There are a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Like way more rules than like okay, because what you do. Okay, we'll get to this here in a minute. What you think of, you think it's like big ping pong, and it is not.
No.
There are many other very silly rules that you have to follow.
Or better yet, tennis. Because
Oh, yeah,
I
it's not
learned
tennis either.
playing tennis first, and it's very different. The rules are different, and then just how you hit the ball is different because I like to smack it. And you can't do that in pickleball because it goes way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's leisure talk, and we pulled a pre-show out of our rear end. Hit the theme, Expo. Yes, y'all. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show with chairs and a desk and a microphone and an IFB and everything. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the places, or you listen to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is one of the hosts of Women Talking Football. She is one of the hosts of Dave Campbell's Rising, our new recruiting show. She's Lil Crute, Mallory Hartley.
Hey.
What's up, Lil Crute?
Good to be here. It's been a while.
Thanks for filling in.
Yeah, of course.
Pickles.
I was going to say we should mention that Pickle and V are out today.
They're down at
They're
State
down
Basketball.
In the 210 at State Basketball.
Yeah, having a good time. They flew down there this morning.
Really early. She came into my room last night and she was like, I'm not going to see you tomorrow morning because I have to pick up V at like 5 in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I will not.
What time did your
be
alarm
up.
go off?
Well, this morning it went off at 5 because I worked out, but she was long gone before then.
Got it.
So
Today is Thursday, March 6th, 2024, 2025 rather. I will get that right one day. 266 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Shaquille O'Neal, my wife's cousin. Shaquille O'Neal is 53 years old today. Happy birthday to my wife's cousin, Shaquille O'Neal. It's episode 1840. Thank you. On today's show, folks, we are going to have Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Thank you. Where we're going to take a look back at that cursed 2020 season. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, and I think we finally have enough data to give it a real look of like, hey, who had a weird 2020? Like now we're going to be able to figure that out. I've dug through the math, and I can tell you who had a 2020 that was unlike anything else, like an outlier season. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that. And then back half of the show, we'll be joined by the head coach, the new head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs. Coach Matt Fanning will join us. If that name sounds familiar to you, he is the gentleman who went on to lead Jim Ned to that 2020 state championship. Back in 2020, he was the DCTF Coach of the Year back in 2020. He spent the last season as an assistant at Hardin-Simmons, but he's getting back into the high school coaching game. We'll hear from Matt Fanning coming up here at the back half of the program. He will join us live here on the show. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was, well, Matt Stepp.
Don't say it like that.
Hey, Stepp. Ed McElroy, jersey number 69,
nice.
And T. Solis 9.
Nailed it.
Welcome in, people.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on a blessed Thursday. By the way, so I had a meeting. I had to go to a meeting this morning about Max and preschool and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And can I mess with your head for a moment, because it messed with my head this morning? Mm-hmm. One of the things on the paperwork was about his graduation year. Max is scheduled to graduate in 2040.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that hurts my head.
Anyway.
It makes me feel old.
All right, Mal, it's Thursday, and here on Texas Football Today, every Thursday during the offseason, we like to celebrate Math Tuesday. Math Tuesday here on Texas Football Today, where we dive inside the numbers of Texas high school football and give you a little something to chew on. And this is something that I have had stuck in the back of my brain basically for about 5 years, okay? And I know we do not want to think about 2020. Mm-hmm. 2020, going to go out on the record, thumbs down. Just not a fun year. Did you have fun in 2020? No. I don't think anybody had fun in 2020, right? Bad year. Obviously, the coronavirus pandemic and all the things that went along with that. And if you remember, it impacted Texas high school football in a pretty severe way. That was the year that we had, obviously, crowd restrictions at games. We had, limited amount of practice, a remote school for a lot of teams, as well as the UIL decided to break up and change the way that the season happened. If you remember, the 6A and 5A started 4 weeks later than the small schools. Mm-hmm. And so we had split state championships. It was a bizarre season.
That was weird. That was my first season here, too. Yeah. I was still an intern.
It was bizarre. And I remember thinking during that 2020 season, I remember having this thought, and perhaps there may even be tape of it because God knows we were doing shows. I remember thinking that it feels like 2020 is going to give us some weird results because everything has gone so crazy. Forget the fact of like changes in practice, changes in schedule. There's just a change in routine. And furthermore, there are, let's be honest, during 2020, there were bigger fish to fry. Mm-hmm. There were things that were on our mind that perhaps were a little bigger than Texas high school football. We love Texas high school football, but when there's a global pandemic going on, maybe your mind's not focused on it all the time. Do you know what I mean? And so I remember thinking in 2020, it wouldn't be a surprise if we had some weird results, just some weird things happen. And I think that we did. And so what I wanted to do, now that we are 4 full seasons removed from that, we now have some data points to allow us to dive back and say, okay, who did have a weird year in 2020? Who did have that upside down year in 2020? And so what I did was I took the 2020 season and the team's record, right, in 2020 and looked at their winning percentage. I did winning percentage instead of like total wins because we had a lot of games that get canceled. We had teams that had shortened seasons. Some teams only played like 4 games, stuff like that. So I just took winning percentage, okay? And I compared it to the overall winning percentage of, oh my gosh, it's Kendall Iams. Hi, Kendall. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Rob told me that she was coming in today.
That's also not her name anymore. Okay,
No.
sorry.
Point.
So, Kendall Point. All that's to say, I took the 2020 winning percentage and I compared it to not just the last 4 seasons, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, but also the year before in 2019. So we have 5 years of data and say, okay, whatever you were in those 5 seasons is probably a better snapshot than what you are in 2020. And so what I wanted to do was compare what teams did in that environment versus what they did in 2020. Now, we're going to go through 3 different examples because the first of which, the first graphic I put together, are teams that appear to be entirely unaffected. Teams that basically didn't have anything change from the 5 years surrounding 2020 and 2020. Brady, for example. Brady over those 5 seasons has about a .455 winning percentage, and they went 5-6. Center, same thing. They are normally about a 6-5 team on average. They went 6-5. Little Cypress, Mauriceville. Midlothian Heritage had a very normal year by Midlothian Heritage standards, which is about 9-3, .750 winning percentage. They did that. Same with Olton, 6-5, and then Trenton. All those teams had exactly the same winning percentage in 2020 that they did in the years surrounding 2020. So I think it's fair to say that overall they were mostly unaffected by what happened in 2020. But now I want to take a look at the teams that were affected, the teams that really did get hit hard. And I want to start with the teams that 2020 is a negative outlier, which is the teams that what they did in 2020, if you look at over the scope of the last 6 years, really stands out as way different. And at the top, New Braunfels Canyon. So in the past 4 years, plus the year before 2020, 2019, their winning percentage is about .596, about 600, okay? They went 0-10 in 2020, okay? 0-10. That is a way outlier for them. Mm-hmm. Groover, a team that just had a great year. Take a look at what Groover does typically. They're usually win a little more than 3/4 of their games. Well, they went 2-9 in 2020. Iredell went 1-9 when they normally are a team that wins about 67% of their games. Bowie Goldberg, same thing. They went 0-10. Leander Rouse had a terrible year in 2020 when they are normally a team that wins about 65% of their games. Bay City went winless. Goliad, a team that wins 61% of their games over 5 seasons, went 1-9. And Liberty Idlo, they're a 500 team. They went winless in 2020. And so these are teams that I think you can look at and say, okay, based on what we know about these programs and what they typically are, 2020 was a terrible year for them. And they were obviously impacted in a relatively negative way. I think we can draw that out and make that conclusion that these were teams that really got hurt by all the changes and all the differences in 2020, okay? But now I want to look at the other side, okay? And the teams that 2020 actually really worked out for them and they were able to handle that and turn it into one of their best years. And the one like screaming at you example is Valley View, okay? Valley View, for the most part, in 2019 and in the past 4 seasons, is kind of an also-ran Texas high school football program. They won a 180 winning percentage, okay? Which means that generally they're going about like 2-8, you know what I mean, in a year, on average. Well, they made the state semifinals in 2020. Okay? They went 12-3 and had pretty clearly their best season of the last 6 in 2020. Carrollton Ranchview is similar. Carrollton Ranchview has a winning percentage of about 25%. They went 9-2 in 2020. Rio Grande City went 9-2, despite the fact that overall they're about a 271 winning percentage. Lubbock Coronado had a terrific year, run to the regional semifinals at 12-1. This despite the fact that the other seasons that we're comparing them to, they're under 500. They're about a 400 winning percentage. Buffalo went to a regional final at 12-2. Beeville Jones went 11-1, by far their best season, despite the fact that they are about a 418 win percentage overall. Lamar Consolidated had a terrific year at 9-3, and Bruceville Eddy, another team that really kind of broke out in 2020. These are teams that took the changes in 2020 and really thrived in them. They really benefited. I don't want to say that it was a good thing, but certainly they were able to take what happened and the ecosystem in which the 2020 Texas high school football season operated and really benefit from it. That they were able to go out there and say, all right, Valley View, for example, we're going to go out there and have our best year, really, let me look this up, maybe even in program history. And so this is a fascinating way to look at it. 12-1, this is a team that in Valley View, they went 10-2 in 2017, 12 wins. They hadn't won 12 games in a season since 1986.
Sheesh.
And then they chose 2020 to do it, the weirdest year of all. And, when you compare the fact that surrounding that 12-3 season, they have won a grand total of 12 games in the other 6 seasons. Think about that.
That's nuts.
So this was something that I wanted to dive into, because 2020 obviously was a singular Texas high school football season. It was weird for all the reasons that we can go into at length. And for a lot of people, I think we've shoved it out of our minds, being like, that was weird, we got past it, let's move on. But there were some programs that really got hit hard by it, and it was way outlier for them in a negative way, and other teams that really thrived in that environment and found a way to put together some of their best football. And so that was something I've been meaning to do, and it's really interesting to me that these programs, now we have enough data, I think, surrounding it, that we're able to say pretty confidently, yeah, okay, 2020 was an outlier for a lot of these teams, some in a positive way, some in a negative way. So there you have it, a dive into what teams really did in 2020 versus what they're used to doing. And that is another edition of Math Tuesday.
Good stuff. Math Tuesday. Sorry.
You.
We're too busy complimenting you. My bad.
Thank you. We're Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and Cruton all across the Lone Star State. Hey, you. Yes, you. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. We are currently working on the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. That's right. That's why I look so tired. We are working on the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. If you want that magazine mailed to you before it hits newsstands, if you want to get it before your neighbor, if you want to flex on Jim across the street, and we all want to flex on Jim, right?
Sure.
Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It'll show up in your mailbox before it hits newsstands, and you can be like, hey, Jim, look what I got. Jim. Makes a great gift as well. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even forget the most important part. If you become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber, you get a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform. That's right. Thousands of live events, including it's baseball and soccer season, baseball, softball, and soccer season right now. Tons of games going on TexanLive.com. All as part of your Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Go do that. Mm-hmm. It will make Mallory very happy. Yeah. Look how not happy she is with the fact that you haven't subscribed.
Yeah. Here's
the difference of if you're not subscribed. Here's Mallory, not subscribed. And now here's Mallory when you're subscribed. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, Matt Fanning, the new head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs, will join us live on the hotline. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10. Touchdown!
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I'm Greg, that's Mallory. And Mal, let's go to the hotline. Let's go to Wise County to talk with the new head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs. We're pleased to be joined by Coach Matt Fanning. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Greg. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are things in Alvord these days?
They're good. They're busy. You know, we're full bore into the spring in a small school, so we got kids going in 5-6 different directions every day.
That is certainly the life that you're used to. You're coming back to the high school football ranks after a year there at Hardin-Simmons, and you got hired back in January. There's a lot of quotes out there about what a good fit you are for Alvord and why you're going to have success there. But I would kind of want to take that question and turn it on its head. Why was Alvord the right move for you to head there?
Well, we've got my family and I have ties in this area. I actually grew up 30 minutes down the road in Era and then coached there for 12 years. So when we were coaching there, we lived in Decatur, which is just right down the road from Alvord, and so we know a lot of folks, know the area real well. I'm familiar with Alvord athletics, for quite some time now, and kind of the community here. And I'm a blue collar guy. I'm a country kid. I grew up son of a horse trainer, and that's kind of the area out here. That's kind of the demographic, and I fit well with the kids and the community. And I think there's a great administration in place. So all those things were really appealing to me, and kind of get to come back to Wise County and be in this area for a little bit and be around some family out here. That was a positive as well.
Now, Coach, I want to ask you, because last year you were an assistant there at Hardin-Simmons, and I feel like there's people who would say, oh, okay, well, he moved from high school, moved on to the college ranks. See you later, Coach Fanning. Well, we'll see you in the college ranks. A move back to the high school ranks, what went into the decision to come back to coach at Texas high school football?
Well, first off, I loved it there. It was an amazing job. I got to work with great people and people that have been my friends for a long time, and Coach Burleson and Coach Whitehead and James Burke on the strength and conditioning side, and really enjoyed the work and the kids. But I've got a daughter that's a freshman and a son that's in the third grade, and kind of the general consensus amongst our family was that I didn't see them, so my daughter came to me in kind of a heartfelt moment and told me that she wanted me to get back into high school, and she wanted me to coach her for the next, 3.5 years. And it's kind of hard to say no to that. So we looked for a smaller town where I would still have the opportunity to jump over and coach her on the track side of things and do some stuff with her. And, that was really the main thing. I don't know that I thought I was done being a head coach and athletic director. And then, after a little bit of time there, I'm not real sure that didn't factor in too. I might not quite have been done.
It's Matt Fanning, the head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, we mentioned a year there at Hardin-Simmons. I'm curious, coaches are always learning and taking things from different jobs. What is it that maybe you're going to take from what your year there at Hardin-Simmons that you're going to apply to the job here at Alvord?
I think the culture there is amazing, and a part of that was something that was already, ingrained in me. Coach Burleson and I both played in that program under Coach Keeling, and the awesome thing about Hardin-Simmons is that the things that matter, doing things the right way, the toughness, discipline, effort, that's never really changed. And I think Coach Burleson and his staff there have expanded on that So really just the culture building, the family, atmosphere, the things that I carried with me. And I think, from my playing time there, and I think Coach Burleson's really even made it better. So definitely something looking at a program and kind of a rebuild like where we're at here, implementing some of those things. And then, also just the relationship I have with those guys and the ability to kind of call them and lean on them and get ideas and idea share. Those are all really important things that I'm able to take from Hardin Simmons.
You mentioned kind of the build there at Alvord. This is a program that hasn't won a playoff game since 2021. I'm curious, when you first showed up in town and you addressed, your athletic department and you addressed especially your football players. I'm curious what your message was to them the first time you talked with them.
No, we're going to work. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of always been my mantra in athletics is it's not about the accolades. It's not about the social media or the talk or even what the perspective is from the community. It's about the work you put in that creates results that take care of the rest of those things. So, we jumped right in and changed workout times and workout schedules and how we do our weight training and our speed and agility training and really did a big recruiting movement into track and so that was we just jumped in and went right to work, and then we'll kind of square away the rest of the things as we go through the spring.
And finally, Coach, Matt Fanning, head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs, joined us here. We were actually just talking a little bit about that 2020 season. There are some people who hold that in low esteem, but I would imagine that 2020 season for you has some fond memories. Of course, leading Jim Ned to that unforgettable state championship win over Hallettsville. 4 years has passed since then. Now that you've had kind of that time to reflect and digest it, what was it about that 2020 Jim Ned team that really made them special?
Man, they were special. That was the most tight-knit, competitive group of young men that I've ever had the honor of being around. They were, I feel like, really what set them apart, and they were just tougher than everybody else. They could handle all the different things that went through that season, dealing with COVID and games not being played and rescheduled and practice times being shifted around. They could handle all of those things. They could handle being behind. They could handle being ahead. Just a really, really tough group of young men. Not extremely, well, I don't like taking that away from them. They were very talented, but I don't feel like we were the most talented group that hit the field every week. And, but man, we were dang sure that they were dang sure the toughest.
He's Matt Fanning. He's the new head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new gig, and looking forward to seeing what you do in Wise County.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. There he goes, Matt Fanning, head coach. The Alvord Bulldogs join us here, Texas football today. Excited to see what he does. Remember, he was our 2020 Coach of the Year, and went and joined that staff there for Coach Burleson there at Hardin Simmons as an assistant, and then not only on the football side but also kind of in strength and conditioning. And I'm really excited to see him back in the high school football ranks. And I think you see that a lot where guys go on to the high school, go on to college, and I think you think, okay, well, there they go. Like, they're off to the
They're
next
never
level.
coming back to high school again. Yeah.
But I think we probably need to change our priors on that, because this has happened more often than not, right? Chad Morris, right?
Yep.
Did
one.
that. David Beatty's doing that right now. He's the head coach at Kansas. Now he's going to be the head coach at Denton High. There is now... Certainly, there are guys who go off to the college ranks and we don't see them. Jeff Traylor left Gilmer, went off to join the staff. I think he was at Arkansas and then Texas and then UTSA, I think it was. I might have Texas and
you're
Arkansas
right.
reversed.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to stick in college for the remainder of his career. Joey McGuire probably going to stick in college for the remainder of his career. But I think that we probably need to adjust our priors and understand that, like, these guys, when they go off to college, that's not necessarily a forever thing. And a lot of these guys still get that itch to be, especially to be a head coach and to come in and to work in the high school football ranks. And Matt Fanning, just kind of the latest of a long line of guys who have gone, they've done the college thing and they've come back. And obviously family was a huge part of his decision to go back into the high school football ranks. And we're excited to have him back, excited to see what he does there at Alvord there in Wise County. We appreciate his time, as always. Let's go over to Mallory Hartley for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
We don't really have anything in the comments, but
Wow, what a
watch
ringing endorsement.
Well, any questions or anything?
Okay. People are just like, more Mallory.
No, God, no. Watch basketball on
Yeah, watch
FHS.
basketball on FHS Network.
And then shout out to Pickle and V. They're in the comments too.
Yeah,
so.
it's we are gonna be back. So I guess I can tease this. So next week, we'll have a show on Monday.
Yep.
And then normally we're on Mondays and Thursdays. We are not going to be on next Thursday. We are instead going to be on next Friday. And the reason for that is because next Friday is March 14th, 2025. And you're probably thinking, oh, cool, Pi Day. And that is true.
It is true.
But most importantly, March 14th, 2025 is Dave Campbell's 100th birthday.
Woo!
The GOAT would have been
GOAT.
100 years old next Friday, and so we're going to have a very special show commemorating and remembering our founder and editor-in-chief, Dave Campbell. We've got some special things on tap, what we're calling Dave Day here around
Dave
here.
Day!
It's going to be fun as we celebrate our founder and editor-in-chief, who would have been 100 years old this year. We will celebrate his 100th birthday next Friday. So mark your calendar. No show next Thursday, but there will be a show next Friday celebrating Dave Campbell's 100th birthday. We're very excited about that.
And WTF will be on Wednesday. It's our week, so.
Okay, so it's not a great week is what I'm saying. It's a good week.
Because nobody likes women talking football.
That's not true. I love women talking football. That's good. I do. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Matt Fanning, new head coach of the Alvord Bulldogs, for being our guest. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please give me your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.